75 degrees in Oklahoma City today. Believe it or not, it's the coolest day since the World Cup of softball started. It's going to be a lot of fun on the field as we get ready for border battle 4 between Canada and the United States. Here's the Canadian starting lineup presented by Lumber Liquidators. Dave Bolt, Jeff Filardo will be at first base. Luke Chavette, Frank Henry, Todd Cadenhead, Claude Chason, Jeff Zanoli, Tim Bentley, Jeff Gare, Al Blaze, and Chris Parr make up the starting 11 for Team Canada. That's right, if you're new to slow-pitch softball, 11 in the starting lineup. And for Team USA defensively, again presented by Lumber Liquidators, Brian Rainwater, Rick Baker, a very talented Brian Wegman in right, Rulli, DiDonatis, Cannell, Thede, Helmer, and Andy Purcell, perhaps the most talented pitcher in the world in slow pitch.
Well, I don't know about being the most talented, but he's been the biggest winner in slow pitch softball. The teams that he's played on, Rismondo Sports, has won 7 of the last 10 national tournaments, national championships, and he's the main reason why.
Now Dave Bolt ready to go in the box for Team Canada. Andy Purcell will throw the first pitch. Swung on, hit sharply to third. Rulli with the play. And the throw over to Thede, and Bolt is quickly retired. 1 down for Team Canada.
Rulli is the oldest member of Team USA and has been at the top of the game for probably the last 15 years.
We are going to see a lot of offense, we suspect, today. Now, there is a 10 home run limit, and that will definitely come into play.
That is one of the keys of the game. The team that manages their 10 home runs the best will win this game.
Jeff Filardo now for Team Canada. And there is our first home run of the day. A shot to center field, and it's 1-0 Canada, and that is maybe an early mistake for the Canadians.
Without a doubt. You do not want solos this early in the game. Maybe late in the game, bottom of the 7th to win the game, but not here.
Jeff Filardo with our first home run. This one to center field. And the wind is blowing out today, but it's not going to matter no matter what. These guys are going to clear that fence easily if they get it up.
And not with the dimensions here at 300 feet all the way around. These guys are normally playing in minor league stadiums, so if the wind was blowing in, they'd still hit it out of here.
There's United States head coach Steve Shortland. He's now in his 4th year as Team USA's head coach. And I was talking to him this morning about home run management, and you would think that maybe coaching slow pitch softball, there's not that much to it, but there has become a lot of strategy in recent years.
Without a doubt. I mean, just like the game Wednesday night, the team used all their home runs. You thought they had the game on ice, and they come back and almost cost them in the end. But I think in Canada's perspective here, last year they didn't score the first 3 innings, so maybe this will help loosen them up a little bit.
Make a play, Andy.
Luke Chavette, the native of Quebec, a hard hit ball to center. Nice play by Baker. Round number 2. All right, Denny, here's our keys to the game.
Yes, sir. You just tell me when you're ready, big man.
What's it going to take for Team USA and for Team Canada? Presented by Progressive.
Canada must, they've got new faces in the lineup. They must step up and score early, which they've done, and not get intimidated here under the bright lights of the TV cameras and stuff. Team USA has to manage their home runs and make the plays. So far, they're 2 for 2 in making the plays.
And bring up right fielder Frank Henry for the Canadians. He swings at the first pitch, line drive into left center field. Baker over there trying to slow it down. It skips by him and gets to the wall. But Henry will stop at second base with a 2-out double.
The equipment that we're using today has really transformed the game in the last few years. Years ago, teams would use a 4-man outfield because the balls wouldn't get through the infield. But with the bats and the balls like they are today, teams went primarily with this 5-man infield and 3 outfield. And you better have 3 good outfielders that can run, catch, and throw.
And now Todd Cadenhead from Vaughan, Ontario. Good third baseman for the Canadians with a runner in scoring position.
Looks like our runner must have pulled a muscle or something. He's hobbling around there on second base.
I got you. Just tell me verbally. Ready? Easy wags, easy wags. Ready, big man? Play. There you go.
And this one is going to leave.
That's well hit there. That's
up on top of the
400-footer. Canada's just matched the last year's output almost here in the first inning, so they're going to be pretty excited.
So home run number 2 for the Canadians, and it's now 3-0. Again, it's a 10 home run limit. And the thing, Denny, that you can probably attest to is that the home run limit has brought athletes back to the game of slow-pitch softball. Bat control and defense now stressed more than just power.
Very good point. Back in the 80s, you could put 10 monsters out there, and you know, you had games where it were 60 to 58 and really made a difference. Now there's another solo, so they've used 3 of their home runs already here in the first inning.
That's Claude Chason with a home run to center, another Quebec native, and it's 4-0 Team Canada. But again, 2 solo home runs used up.
Not good.
And I was talking with Steve Shortland this morning about this. It is hard for these guys to not hit it out because they're so big and so strong.
Yeah, even when they try to hit the ball up the middle, they try to hit it hard and it sails right out of the park. And that's what happened to him the other night in the 7th inning.
Now Jeff Zinoli.
2 balls, 1 strike.
You're referring to that game between Team USA and the Team USA Futures team, which was won by the Futures.
38-37. Very entertaining game, and really showed off how good some of the athletes that are playing this game today are.
There's Zinoli with a single to center. So a 2-out base runner for the Canadians as Andy Purcell is trying to get that last out here of the first.
Good.
The catcher, Tim Bentley, to short, handled by DeDonatis. He flips to Cannell, and the Americans get out of the first inning, but Team Canada gets 4 on the board. However, some solo home runs in there.
Very good start, but 2 solos could hurt them.
4-0 Canada. Border Battle 4. We're back in a moment. There's Jeff Filardo, who hit 1 of the 3 home runs by Team Canada in the top of the first inning. However, of the 3 home runs, 2 were solo shots, including Filardo's, and we'll see if that comes back to haunt the Canadians with that 10 home run limit always looming.
I think, though, it helps them mentally getting 4 runs here in the top of the first inning, which, you know, in the last year getting shut out the first 3 innings, and they were behind the 8 ball the rest of the way.
Lumber Liquidators starting lineup for Team USA: Bryson Baker, Greg Cannell, Brian Wegman, Brett Helmer, Brian Rainwater, the pitcher Purcell, Rick Baker, Johnny McCraw is the extra hitter, Don DeDonatis, Ryan Feedy, and Dennis Ruley. And again, 11 in the starting lineup. You look at Bryson Baker there, it says MI in front of him. That means middle infielder. That's something that maybe baseball fans aren't accustomed to.
Exactly. In softball, like we mentioned earlier, they went to this 5-man infield almost here the last couple of years because of the equipment. And if they get right, there's one of the reasons why. Normally, if the second baseman was playing more, the other, that would be a base hit, and that's the design.
And Bryson Baker, a hard hit ball. Gare knocks it down. And with a strong throw to first, is able to record the first out.
You see, they were playing him. I don't understand why he hit it that way, because they were playing him shaded to that way. I would think he would have went through the hole between the shortstop and the bag, but he went the other way.
And now here's Greg Cannell, a native of Moultrie, Georgia, the youngest player on Team USA at 32. Great power, but here he settles for a base hit. And he's probably very happy with that inside.
Yes, exactly, because he wants to come up when there's 1, 2, or 3 guys on base, but he's a good enough hitter to do what he did right there.
Cannell played his college ball at Valdosta State. And now Brian Wegman comes up.
Wegman was a college baseball player at Evansville, and he owns his own softball complex, Mid-American Ball Yard in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Very versatile player for Team USA, can play in the outfield as he is today and also on the infield. And instead of the number 4 spot like in baseball, in softball the number 3 spot is the significant spot. Here he almost gets Cannell doubled up. Great play at first by Falardo, but can't get to the bag to double up Cannell.
Well, actually, in slow-pitch softball, the teams usually put the number 2 guy as the main power guy because they try to turn the order over at the top with the 10th and 11th hitter.
Play.
And Brett Helmer comes up. We haven't mentioned this yet. It's a 1-1 count to start every at-bat.
You can't, yes, and you can't afford walks. The other night, the Futures team walked 3 guys in the inning where USA team scored 20 runs, and that's what really hurt him. I would think he's going to try to hit it out here just to get him on the board.
Helmer, deep, and gone.
Real deep.
Catcher.
Brad Helmer, the Americans' first home run, the Americans' first runs of the day.
But not a solo, so with 2 outs, 1 runner on, he decided to go for it. And he's been probably the most dominant left-handed hitter in the game in the last 10 years, or even longer for that matter. It looks like they're trying to stagger their order here, where they've got someone who's going to put the ball on the ground, and the next guy, if he has to, can hit it out.
There's Brett Helmer from the Syracuse area of New York. Hard hit ball to Falardo. And Brian Rainwater is retired, and so are the Americans. But they do strike for 2 on the 2-run shot from Brett Helmer, one of the most recognized and decorated players in American slow pitch. Border Battle 4 continues in Oklahoma City after this timeout.
Softballoutlet.
Having this across your chest is something that you can't take for granted, you know, and you just carry yourself a certain way, you know, and I think playing the game all these years, the way you play the game, you earn it up here. You don't just, nothing is ever taken for granted at the slow pitch softball level. You know, it's not like the major leagues and things like that. You know, you work your way up the levels, and when you get there, it's not about getting there, it's about staying there.
Dennis Rulli, the Team USA third baseman who made a nice defensive play in the first inning, talking about what it means to wear that uniform.
Well, I think he appreciates it a lot more than the rest of them because he's a senior citizen on the team and time is running out.
I'm sure he's going to appreciate you saying that.
And, we know each other, and he takes kidding really well.
Here we go. Good start.
Here we go, second inning. The Canadians leading 4-2, and they get the leadoff man, Jeff Gare, aboard as he rolls one out to right field.
Canada's got to be really excited with the start they got going here. They outscored Team USA the first inning, and they're off to a great start here in the second inning.
Now Al Blay comes up for Team Canada, native of Maple, Ontario. Andy Purcell, who's in the game as the starting pitcher for Team USA, directing his outfield. And Purcell's specialty pitch, they say, is the knuckleball.
Knuckleball. Well, the pitching rules in the different associations come into play. Like he pitches a lot of USSSA where you can bluff throws and jump around, do about anything. Here you're limited to what you can do.
Line drive base hit for Blay. Back-to-back singles. This is what the Canadians want, and that'll bring up Chris Parr with a chance to do some damage with one swing. Now here's a look at the rules. Different from baseball, different from fast-pitch softball, certainly. 10 defenders, 11 can bat. It's a 6-10 pitching arc. We'll talk more about that. And again, the batters start with a 1-1 count, which has really sped up the game in recent years.
Yeah, years ago, guys would foul off 25, 30 balls in a row.
This one deep and gone. It's a 3-run home run for Parr, and that's the 4th home run of the day for Team Canada. And now they have a 7-2 lead.
But you got to take those 3-run shots when you can. And
Chris Parr, not very deep by the standards that we have seen already, but gets the job done.
But deep enough.
And now Dave Bolt rolls one to short. Oh, tough hop for D. Donatus, and it skips away. So Bolt is aboard with still nobody out for Team Canada.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's 301 or 451.
I won't let him quick pitches. I'll stop.
I'm going to rule that an error. on DiDonatis. That's a tough play.
This infield here is extremely hard, and it gets some, seems to pick up speed once it hits the infield.
Play.
Here's Falardo now, who homered. Knocked off of Purcell. Nice play by DiDonatis to get the force at second.
That might make the ESPN play of the day. That's a good reaction, knowing where the runner was at.
Well, he makes up for the error quickly, too.
Right. Runner failed to slide there, and it cost him.
Let me know, big man, when you're ready.
And now that'll bring up Chevette, who lined out to center his last time up. He's 0 for 1. Again, a 1-1 count to start the at-bat. And it's 2-1. One thing they say about Purcell, Denny, is that he mixes speeds well. And for someone who's not a fan of slow-pitch softball watching this for the first time, that may sound odd because that's a term used in baseball. Back to this 5-man infield strategy. The pitcher tries to get away with throwing the ball as flat as he can so the batter will hit the ball into the ground. And if you're playing 3 guys to the left or right, you pitch it accordingly inside of the hitter that's up and try to get him to pull it into the teeth of the defense. Chevette walks, and that brings up Frank Henry, who doubled and scored a run in the first. It's the 7th man to come to the plate for Team Canada. 7-2, the Canadians leading.
Play. Good. Ball.
That was the first walk of the game.
Cut it just a little bit.
You can't walk them, that's for sure.
Hard hit to left. We'll see if they send the runner. They will not. They hold Falardo at third, so the base is loaded now for Todd Cadenhead, who came through with a 2-run home run his last time up, and now he's got an opportunity to grand slam.
So what do you do here, Clay? You go for the base hit or you hit it out?
You got to try and hit it out, right?
Get that 4.
Yes, sir.
You want to get these guys down as bad as you can get them down.
Again, the Canadians were embarrassed last year. They'll tell you that. 25-3. And so far, so good for Team Canada.
Whoa.
What a play at short by DiDonatis. To second for 1. In-time double play.
Wow.
And the Canadians come up empty in a situation with the bases loaded and 1 out.
That's why Mr. DiDonatis has won several Gold Gloves the last few years. He's probably been the predominant all-star shortstop in the country.
A 6-4-3 double play for Team USA. DiDonatis, the American shortstop, to get Team USA out of a jam, Denny. They're in the top of the second, and maybe this will loosen up the Americans because
we always
seem a little tight.
Always hear that word momentum, and this could be momentum shift right here.
Steve Shortland, the head coach, said, in the last few years, he's noticed that it takes a while for Team USA to loosen up. As the game goes on, that certainly happens, but the cameras are on them. They know it's the biggest game in the world in slow-pitch softball, and it takes a while for his team to loosen up, and maybe that'll do it.
I find that kind of strange because these guys have all played on this stage before. Why they would be tight, I don't know.
There's Andy Purcell with a base hit to right. And again, Steve Shortland, the head coach of Team USA, a retired Air Force vet, spent 23 years in the military. Native of Overland Park, Kansas.
You can put your hand out, just give me
and his center fielder, Rick Baker, comes up now. 7-2, Team Canada leading here in Border Battle 4.
Ball.
2-1 the count on Baker. To center. Bolt makes a catch on the warning track. And Baker is retired for out number 1.
Big out. Get that first out.
And now Johnny McCraw comes up for the first time for Team USA, one of the veterans of the American roster. And another guy with baseball in his background, played at Appalachian State and also was in the Astros system for a while.
Play.
Hits it in the air. Is it going to get out?
It's out of here.
It drifts out and gone. Bolt made an attempt to bring that back in, but it leaves. It's a 2-run home run for Team USA, their second of the day.
Well, it wasn't a solo. That's the only good thing about it. But I don't think he was trying to hit it out. He looks like he's not real happy about it.
Well, he just muscled that out. He didn't get his arms extended.
He was trying to push it up the middle.
And now Don DiDonatis, who made that beautiful defensive play last half inning, comes up. Base is empty for Team USA with 1 out here in the second.
Several of these players all have bad endorsement contracts. Like Mr. DiDonatis here is on the advisory staff at Worth Sports. Johnny McGraw, who just hit, is Combat Sports. Helmer is Easton Sports.
2 balls, 3 balls, 1
and there's
strike.
several others as well.
A lot of these guys work in the softball or baseball industry when they're not playing.
Right.
Ground ball back up the middle, base hit for DiDonatis.
He has a minor league. He played 3 years in minor league baseball as well.
There's a Tigers farmhand for a while. Well, DiDonatis is arguably the fastest guy on the roster, and now he's at first base. As Ryan Feedy comes up.
He led the Frontier League, or still has the record, I think, 70-some stolen bases 1 year in the Frontier League.
Feedy back to par, makes the catch, and doubled up is DiDonatis.
Look at the excitement here in the Canadian crowd. I mean, they are really into this.
A great double play by Team Canada to finish the second. The U.S. gets 2 on a 2-run home run by McCraw. And it's 7-4 Canada in Border Battle 4.
So you actually reward people for staying with you?
Yep, the longer you stay.
There's Don DiDonatis, who has played exceptional softball here, especially defensively for Team USA. Canada leading 7-4. As we bring in Steve Shortland, the head coach of Team USA. Coach, what are you seeing from your guys here in the early going?
A little flat. We kind of, again, it seems to be our MO. We have a slow start every time we come out here to play, and I emphasized that this morning. So we got to get out early. If you give these guys any kind of chance or any kind of momentum, they're going to feed off of it, and you can tell their crowd's really into it.
How about the plays by DiDonatis so far?
Oh, tremendous. He's such a good defender. You got to find a place to put him in the lineup. The guy just makes unbelievable plays.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much. Good luck today.
Thank you.
There's Steve Shortland in his 4th year as head coach. And you see that DiDonatis had a Navy cap on. All of the players for Team USA wearing caps that represent different branches of the military this inning. Tip of the hat, no pun intended, to the military here in the third.
That's good.
Dennis Ruley. Going to be a tough play if it stays fair, and it does. Ruley with an infield single. That's actually Chason, because Ruley plays for Team USA. It's hard to keep track of these guys at times. There's Claude Chason at first base.
Big man, tell me when you're verbally ready.
Now Jeff Zanoli.
Ready? Play.
Home runs 4-2 in favor of Canada. Back up the middle base hit. Back-to-back hits for the Canadians.
Come on.
Okay, Coach, what we do here? We got 2 on.
Well, I'm new to this, but my thought is you leave the yard and you get the 3-run bomb. Right?
With no outs.
Or do you try to?
I might try to get
another base
here
hit.
and save, he'll probably hit into a double play now.
This is Tim Bentley, who hit into a fielder's choice his last time up. He's going to make an attempt to leave. Does it stay fair?
Foul ball.
It's a foul ball for Bentley.
And now he's got 2 strikes, so he's got to keep it fair.
There is no courtesy foul. after 2 strikes.
Right. Foul ball and you're out.
3-2 pitch, hit well, and off the wall.
That's even better.
Chason is going to come around third. He will score. Stopping at third base is Zanoli. It's an RBI producing double for Tim Bentley. And they saved that home run. It could have left, but 2 feet short.
That's right. Still got no outs, and they got a good inning going here. They got the same situation, 2 on, no out. Coach is going to come out here and try to kill their momentum a little bit, slow things down.
Just calling any strikes. Seems like the stuff they're hitting. Seems like the stuff they're hitting is flat.
Well, he's thrown 2 perfect pitches and he's calling them off.
At least he has them.
And that guy likes it super high, so I wanted him to hit a flat one.
I got you.
Because every time I throw it high, he's hit it 9 miles that way.
Don't play on YouTube. The flatter we can get it, the better off we should be.
Strategy being talked over by Team USA. Steve Shortland, head coach. Coverage of the World Cup of Softball continuing on ESPN tonight at 7. Canada takes on the United States. The Americans went to 3-0 with a win earlier today over the Netherlands. World Cup of Softball presented by Lumber Liquidators tonight at 7 on ESPN, ESPN3, and live on Watch ESPN. So bragging rights between the Canadians and the United States. The men here in Border Battle 4 and later on tonight in women's fast pitch. And this is Jeff Gare going deep, and at the warning track hauled in by Baker. Tagging and scoring is Zanoli. There's another run for Team Canada. It's 9-4.
As long as they keep marking every inning, that's the name of the game. You got to score every inning.
Yes, sir. When you get close to the mound, I put my hand up so you get yourself together. Tell me verbally, sir.
And now Al Blay for Team Canada.
Ready? Play. Drew.
Hard hit. Nice play by Rulli at third, and he throws him out.
He can still play the game. He's like the Brooks Robinson of slow pitch softball.
Hey, real good inning going here, real good.
And a good play over there by Feedy to go up and get it.
All right, let me get right here with you.
And now Chris Parr, the number 11 hitter in the order for Canada. Cannell at second base makes the play, and Canada is done here in the 3rd inning.
Boy, what started out as a real good inning come to a screeching halt.
9-4. Team Canada, they tack on 2 more as we go to the bottom of the 3rd in Oklahoma City.
Tired of tugging and
Took me about 2 years to learn how to hit a softball and hit it where I wanted to. I mean, I didn't realize, I thought when I first started, this is going to be easy. It's not. It's not easy at all. I mean, it's coming slower. You got to generate your own power. And they used to shift me over to dead pull because I couldn't. They would leave nobody on the right side of the infield, and I still couldn't hit it over there. My opposite field shot was back to the pitcher. So it was, it's a transition. I mean, I've played with Major League Baseball players that came out and played with us that couldn't hit it.
Craw played a long time in baseball and then ended up in the Astros system, but it wasn't an easy transition, as he just told you.
It's really tough. Years ago, we had Ralph Garr, an Atlanta Brave player, tried to play with us after he was done. And there's Rulli, the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 3rd. Now, this is right where Team USA wants to be. They've got their leadoff hitter on. Now they have their leadoff hitter in the lineup up with Cannell in the hole. So if Baker can get a hit here, then Cannell can free swing.
Dennis Rulli is aboard. He's been on 3 of the 4 national teams for Team USA. And back to the top of the order here in Bryson Baker, the middle infielder for the Americans.
Seems like as always when a player makes a good defensive play, he comes in and he's the first player up.
To right. Running catch by Henry. He gets it in quickly, so Rulli can't advance. Big out for Team Canada.
Ball hung up. He was trying to do the right thing, hit that gap. Just sailed on him.
So Bryson Baker is 0 for 2.
Now this will be interesting to see what Cannell here tries to do, whether he tries to launch one or try to hit that gap, that little hole right up the middle between the middle infielder and the shortstop.
That's what he did last time. He got a base hit right up the middle. There's that hole you're talking about, Denny. And he tries to get there, but it's cut off by Falardo on the line.
You know, I think Team Canada watched how the Futures team defended these guys the other night, and they're doing a lot of the similar things with the way they're moving their people around on defense.
I'm seeing some exceptional defense here today by both sides.
Especially, you know, the way the ball, the velocity of the speed of the ball off the bat and the reaction time with these guys is phenomenal.
This is Brian Wegman. Wegman, his first time up, lined out to first. Falardo made a good play that time as well. They like to kid Brian Wegman, as you know, Denny. He's kind of the golden boy of this team, and he's the guy that shows up on the billboards when Team USA softball is advertised, and the guys never let him forget it. This time he hits it to the warning track, but not out. Believe it or not, a 1-2-3 inning for Team USA.
You know, the other night, same thing happened. They scored 0 runs. I think it was the third inning again where they had an offer, and you cannot have offers.
Border Battle 4 here in Oklahoma City alongside Denny Helmick. Slow pitch Hall of Famer, I'm Clay Matvick. Canada 9-4 as we go to the top of the fourth, and Team USA's goal, as Steve Shortland, the head coach, told us before the game, was 30 runs. Well, when you go 1-2-3 as they did in the bottom of the third, that's going to be a hard goal to reach.
Well, the other night they went 1-2-3, I think, in the same third inning and ended up with 37. So they'll have that one big inning. It's just the question is, when's it going to happen?
Dave Bolt, the leadoff man here in the fourth for Team Canada, walks, and that brings up Falardo, who has a solo home run and a fielder's choice today. 2 runs scored.
Purcell got called for a flat pitch there.
Ball.
This umpire here has a little bit tighter strike zone than the other night, I think, with the 6-10.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's Chris McGee, the home plate umpire. 2-2 to Falardo. Swung on, back up the middle, solid single for Jeff Falardo. Bolt will stop at second base. He made a hard turn, thought about 3, but pulls up there. 2 on, nobody out for Canada.
But he went right through the teeth of the 5-man. You know, the 3-man outfield really was started, at least in my mind, back in the late 60s, early 70s. Long Island County Sports, and Detroit Snyders, and Hamilton, the Wellsman Truckers, and the Hardin County Raiders were several teams that employed that 3-man outfield.
Play.
You really have to have speedy outfielders to take on that strategy.
Yeah, years ago when they were playing a 4-man outfield, you could put 2 300-pounders out there in right center and get away with it. So he called the illegal pitch again here.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
So now 2-2 to Luke Chevette, the DH for Team Canada.
He's going to ring him up.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Full count.
It wasn't high. Height was good. It was just over his back shoulder.
Looked like he was getting ready to wind him up.
There you go.
To second, and a bad throw. Here comes Bolt to score. They're going to hold Falardo at third, and Chevette goes to second, and then finally coming in is Falardo. It's a 2-run mistake by the Americans.
That is big there because they're not only out, they got a couple runs in, another runner in scoring position. Still got no outs here in the top of the fourth. Cannell's usually a pretty sure-handed, well, he did catch the ball, and he just ball sailed on him.
And bring up Frank Henry.
You got to make the plays. You give them 4, 5, 6 outs, and it's going to hurt you.
And they get a couple of runs without a home run.
Exactly. But by no means is this game out of reach.
Scores in the 40s and 30s still very commonplace.
You know, when they play in the bigger stadiums, they're not usually it might be 22-12. It's not like they used to be with the 50s and 60s. I mean, it's they've really got away from that.
Base hit.
Caught him leaning the other way.
That was Cannell leaning toward first. And coming in to score is Chavette. And it's 12-4, Team Canada.
Canada's got to be ecstatic right now the way this game is going compared to last year's. Last year's game was almost over at this time of the game.
Frank Henry has 3 hits today, none of them homers.
It would be ironic if Canada did to the U.S. what the U.S. did to them last year.
Right.
Tell me verbally, big man.
Team Canada lost to the Americans 25-3 last year.
Ready? Play.
And now Todd Cadenhead for the Canadians. And this is high and deep down the line, but hooking foul. Wow. Canada has 4 home runs. We remind you there is a 10 home run limit. After that, they're out.
They've done a real good job here so far, even with the 2 solos. They have 12 runs on 14 hits.
Ready? Play.
And the big stat so far, they don't have any errors, and the U.S. has 2.
This is going to leave.
That's well hit.
2-run bomb for Cadenhead, his second 2-run home run today. It's a 14-4 lead for Team Canada.
And that's half their home runs now. So we're in the 4th inning, so they're pretty much right on schedule where they want to be with the home runs. That ball was hit close to 400 feet.
And now Claude Chason will come up. He is 2 for 2 with a solo home run and a single. A couple of runs scored. Andy Purcell, as we said before, one of the better pitchers in the world. And the Canadians have done a pretty good job against him so far.
They've done a real good job, and they've made him pay. When he walked, they scored.
Back up the middle over the glove of Purcell. Another hard hit ball by Team Canada. Chason is on his 3rd hit. And the middle infielder, Jeff Sinoli, due up next.
Looks like the coach is going to make a little pitching change here.
No, I know. I already talked about that earlier. Speedy.
Let's see what Steve Shortland is going to do here.
Andy. Can you play first?
Looks like he's going to bring Buck in the pitch, taking Feedy out, moving Purcell to first base.
And judging by the body language, I don't think Purcell is too happy about it.
I don't think he wants to get off the mound the way it looks.
Okay.
So coming into pitch for Team USA is Gino Buck, native of Red Wing, Minnesota.
Years ago, a lot of coaches would interchange pitchers and first basemen to different batters, and I wouldn't be surprised if Purcell's back in pitching before the game's over.
Yes, 34 for 22.
Now pitching for the USA, number 34, Gino Buck.
Purcell goes to first for Team USA.
Coach.
On a roster this size, how many pitchers does a team usually have?
Normally, the upper level teams usually have one, and they may have another guy who can pitch also, but they, with the cost of some of these teams, you don't want to carry too many extra guys. But Gino's a pitcher on his team, so he'll do all right here.
Steve Shortland making a move here in the 4th inning. See if he can stop this Canadian momentum. Ruley with another nice play and throw. He has been excellent at third base today for the Americans. There's one down.
I think he forgot there was a runner on first base there.
You think he could have got 2 there?
He could have got 1 at second for sure. I don't know if he'd got, but I'd rather have the out at second base than 1 at first base.
Base hit. Coming around is Chason. he will score. It's 15-4, Team Canada.
If they went to second base there, they still had runners on the corners, maybe. They wouldn't have a run in, and you could get out of the inning with a double play like Dionysus pulled off last inning.
14 is entering for 63.
Now we've got a runner over at first base in a change. Ryan Wood is going to run for Team Canada at first. Runs for Tim Bentley.
Team Canada, 14 for 63. Yes, ma'am.
If I'm Team Canada here, I try to see if I can get up 20 runs, see what happens.
Certainly put them in the driver's seat. As it is right now, it's an 11-run lead for Team Canada.
And it might get Team USA's attention. It doesn't seem like, like their coach said, it seems like they're just going through the motions here.
There's Ryan Wood running at first base for Bentley.
Play. There you go.
To second, Cannell goes to second for the force. And there are two down as Gare forces out Wood, and that'll bring up Blay.
Cannell fields this one clean and makes a better throw than the one he had there before. So got 2 outs. USA needs to get an out here. Get in here and get some runs.
Team USA has won 2 of the 3 meetings with Canada in the Border Battle Series. Their backs up against it today. Hard hit to center. Baker can't make the catch. This might be another Canadian run. Here comes the throw. It's cut off. Gare scores, and it's 16-4 Team Canada.
Looked like he was having trouble picking up the flight of the ball on that. Normally he runs those down.
Man, he hit his glove.
Yeah, he did get a glove on it.
And Chris Parr now for Canada.
Another illegal pitch called dead ball. Now, if the hitter swings at that, it's in play.
There you go. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
High fly ball to center. Baker looks up and watches it go. A 2-run home run for Team Canada. It's now 18-4 as Chris Parr leaves the yard for the Canadians.
The Canadian fanfare, all standing ovation here. I think Canada now has got a little bit of confidence in this game. It's a little bit different than last year.
That is 6 home runs now for Team Canada. Again, the limit is 10.
They're getting close to that where you want to save some.
But at least they're hitting multiple run homers now. Early on, they hit the solo shots, and it appeared it was going to be a problem.
After the first 2, every one's been either a 2-run shot or a 3-run shot.
So Dave Bolt comes up as the Canadians have batted around here in the 4th, and he singles to left. Dave Bolt with his first hit of the day. And that'll bring up Falardo again. Falardo, the solo home run in the 1st. Got the scoring started for Team Canada.
Jeff is on the Worth Advisory staff, I know, up in Canada. And he's, wow.
Right back up the middle. Buck can't make the catch. Now 2-on with 2 outs for the Canadians, as this inning just won't end for Team USA.
They got to get an out. They've got 9 runs this inning.
14th man to come to the plate is Luke Chevette. And you can see Steve Shortland, he's just steaming.
And it looks like the Canadian are having a discussion here whether he should go for it or base hit it.
What would you do?
Tell me verbally, I'm about you.
I don't know. I'd try to blow it. I'd try to end this game right now.
Play.
Gino Buck. This is outside. It's 2-1 to Luke Chevette. He does not have a hit yet today, but he does. Nope. He hit it hard. I thought it might sail up and out, but
didn't get the right spin on it.
Right at Wegman to end the inning finally for Team USA. They score 9 times. And it's now 18-4 Canada in Border Battle 4.
Fortunately for us, you know, we were able to score 25 runs, I think it was, with 9 home runs, and we kind of turned the page on that. This is a brand new year. We know they're very capable of completely turning that around. So we're not going to approach this game with any kind of anything less than, you know, full bore effort because we know the talent that they have. It's been proven that they can beat us, and knowing that is just fuels our fire every time we do step on the field with them.
Now Steve Shortland sees Brett Helmer lead off the 4th with a single to center as Team USA is down by 14 runs.
They're going to have to mark here this inning. They can't afford another offer, and they need to get about 7 or 8, 9, or even more if they can to put some pressure on the Canadian team.
And now Brian Rainwater up. Grounded out to first his last time up. This might have a chance to go. It does, yes. Home run for Brian Rainwater, the 3rd home run for the Americans.
That ball went off the 350 fence back there, the fence behind the parking lot. I'd look for him to try to catch him or get close to him this inning. If they get these first 3 or 4 or 5 guys on and hit a couple more home runs, they will be right back in it. Because we were getting close to having that run rule come into play again.
And it's 15 after 5, right?
Right.
So it's 18-6 now. Andy Purcell comes up for Team USA. He started as the pitcher in this game, has been moved to first base. He had a single his last time up.
Good pitch.
Chopped down the line. Tough play for Cadenhead. It gets under his glove into left field. Look at Purcell. He keeps
avoids the double play, getting the second. And there's the looks like they gave him an error on that play. You can't. It's what we talked about before the game. You cannot give him extra outs.
He kept right on moving too and got into second base. Brings up Baker. Baker lined out to center. He's 0 for 1.
Team USA is right where they want to be in their batting order too. They're down at the bottom. If they get all these guys on and can turn it over to the top, they'll be right back in this game.
Over his back shoulder, over his back shoulder.
Good pitch.
Base hit. Purcell will be held up at 3rd. Runners at the corners and nobody out.
Baker got the big hit the other night, Wednesday night, when the tying run was thrown out at the plate. Almost in an identical situation, but on the other side of the second base.
Here's Johnny McCraw, the EH.
All right, kids, come on, get in for me.
Be interesting to see what he does here, whether he goes for it or goes for the hit.
Ball.
With no outs, I would think he may just go for the hit.
Good pitch. Ball. 2 balls, 3 balls, 1 strike. Over his back shoulder.
Catcher doesn't like that call.
Just a little bit. Over his back shoulder.
Good pitch.
Good.
Full count.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Notice that the full counts are rare.
Illegal.
Illegal pitch, 2 on. No, bases loaded, excuse me.
Big walk. Big walk.
That last one just came over his back shoulder. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He caught illegal because it was flat. Now they're going to try to slow the game down, kill the momentum. Now the crowd's getting into it. If you can hear them chanting, USA, USA.
That last pitch was flat. It's a 6'10" arc limit. No lower than 6 feet, no higher than 10 feet.
Correct. I think the fans are now starting to get in the game, which may help the USA team get a little.
That was the first walk allowed by Carr.
Now the Canadian fans are hollering. They're a little outnumbered here. The intensity level on the Canadian squad has been about 3 times higher than U.S. We got B.J. Folk, looks like he's going to pinch hit here.
15, you can.
This is
USA,
indeed Donatis' spot in the 9-hole for Team USA. B.J. Folk out of King, North Carolina, left-handed hitter, comes up with 3 on. So
this is a grand, knowing B.J. Folk, he's got one instruction. That's the hit it out of here.
If he can do it.
He's hit a lot of them in his day. He's a former national MVP as well.
If he can do it, it'll make it an 8-run game.
I don't know if I would have made this move this early in the game, which is still relatively early. But
ready? Play.
Good pitch.
Line drive down the line. Base hit. Gets past a diving Henry in right. 2 runs are going to score. It is a 2-run pinch hit double for Folk.
Now we'll see if he puts someone in a run for Folk or leaves him out there.
Now explain again, Denny, to the fans who are watching why this is better than a grand slam.
Well, you've got no outs, and you've got runners on second, third, no outs, and you want to save the home runs. I mean, he could have hit it out just as well as what he did there.
You got it. Just tell me when you're ready, sir.
You know, he will still score this inning, so you save the home run.
Play.
I'd be shocked if he doesn't score.
The home run limit again is 10, and it's about home run management.
Exactly.
I understand, but it's over his back shoulder.
Good pitch.
The middle infielder, Zanoli. Good throw, but a run scores. As McCraw comes home. And now it's 18-9.
He just missing over the back
So
shoulder.
Thede is out.
We got Rulli up and then the top of the order. So they've got to get to the top here.
Just 1 out for Team USA. They have scored 5 times here in the 4th.
Good pitch.
Base hit.
Middle infielder almost guessed right on that.
And Folk is going to be held at third. At the corners, still 1 out.
This will be a tough decision here for Bryson Baker, who can hit him with the best of them, and with Cannell on deck to see what he does. Personally, I'd like to see him just get a base hit and let Cannell launch one over the scoreboard like he did the other night.
The offense is starting to pick up here, specifically for Team USA now.
I think what Coach told us, though, they just keep waiting around, and then they kind of get kick-started, and then they roll.
The first 2 border battles, the winning team scored 30 runs. Last year, the Americans scored 25 in a win.
Play.
Good pitch.
Ball.
And that's kind of what Steve Shortland said. I mean, our goal is 30 runs, 30 on 10, 30 runs on 10 homers.
Look at this.
Line drive, middle infielder Zanoli right there. And Baker is retired for out number 2, and he's disappointed.
Well, I got to believe Cannell's going to try to launch one here. It's quite evident that Canada did watch the Futures, how the Futures shortstop, middle infielder, and second baseman played them the other night, and they're moving their defense just like the Futures team did. I mean, I think they've caught 4 or 5 line drives this game already.
He's one of the best hitters in the nation right here, Greg Cannell. Been playing slow pitch softball for about 15 years, and he hits it high and deep to right. And reaching up as Henry can't make the catch. A 3-run home run for Cannell. The 4th long ball for the Americans today. And just like that, Team USA is within 6.
Right back at it. They're still down 1 on the inning, though. So, I mean, Canada's got to be happy right where they're at. Now, they scored 9. USA's only scored 8. So, let's see if they can get a couple more here with 2 outs.
Thought for a second that Henry was going to have a play on that ball, and he ran out of real estate.
Keep going.
And Cannell did a good job of hitting. They pitched him away because they knew what would happen if he, if they threw it in his wheelhouse, and he went the other way with it and knocked it out. So now we got Wegman and Helmer on deck here. But that error, if you remember the play the third baseman missed, is they've scored probably 4 runs here that they wouldn't have had.
Brian Wegman, he's 0 for 2 today, and that's rare for Wegman to be this far into a game and be hitless. There's his first one.
Hitless.
Yep. Bouncing ball to left. Wegman is aboard, and you know, when the bases are empty, that's what you want, right? You want to just settle for the single.
Definitely, or you know, a double or a triple, but don't get the home run unless you have to have it.
Well, for the first time today, Team USA is batted around. Now Helmer comes up. He started the inning with a single. He came around to score. One of the 8 runs so far in this inning for Team USA.
That would be interesting to see what he does here. If he goes, looks like he's going to try to base hit it. And then this is another rule that's in international play that you can steal. And that's the first one this weekend, I think. They put that rule in effect, so it used to be in the game of slow pitch if the ball was bobbing around or rolled back to the backstop, the catcher would turn around and walk back. And it speeds the game up, keeps the catcher into the game.
I like it.
I do. I mean, I think they should do it in all the slow pitch.
Let me know, big man.
That is ruled a stolen base for Wegman.
Yep. Dead ball.
I don't think we can give the pitcher a wild pitch on that or the catcher a pass ball.
No.
Dead ball. 3 balls.
Another
1
illegal
strike.
pitch.
No.
3-1 to Helmer. Now 3-2.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Chopped.
Oh, this will be interesting here.
Tough play.
Play.
Can't make it.
He gave himself up there just to get on. Pitch was too close to take.
What happened here?
Ground ball. He used that ground. We talked about how hard the ground is. He hit it right down on the ground, chopped it up. And, you know, I don't know if any third baseman could have. It was really a tough play. But used to be years ago in the ASA, they had a rule that if you chopped down on the ball, they could actually call you out. And they've changed that rule over the years. Because guys would just hit the ball down on the ground and run. They could run. But here we're going to try to kill the momentum again. I don't know if he's going to make a pitching change or not.
Champion will be crowned as Euro 2012 concludes Sunday on ESPN. Spain attempts to repeat as champions when they take on Italy in the final. Spain, Italy, Sunday at 2:30 on ESPN, ESPN3, and watch ESPN.
Now here's a good hitting situation for Rainwater, who can base hit it or hit it out of the park, to see what decision he's going to make here. He might go for it here and make it 18-15.
Give me a verbal.
Rainwater with a 2-run home run his last time up. That was earlier in this 4th inning. Outside pitch, back up the middle base hit. We keep an eye on Wegman. He is going to be waved around and will score. 18-13 as the United States continues to chip away, Denny.
We knew they were going to have a big inning, just how many and how soon. Now, if Purcell can get a hit or hit it out of here and set it up for Rick Baker, it'd be interesting to see if they could tie it up by the time the inning is over with 2 outs here.
You got you, sir.
Purcell 1 for 2, a single his first time up. And he reached on that error you were talking about earlier this inning. And this is hit high and deep. A 3-run bomb for Purcell.
On a rooftop.
And we've got a 2-run game.
400-foot 3-run shot. Team USA is back in the game, just following the script that they did the other night. Purcell the last few years has really improved himself as a hitter. I know he's worked at it real hard, and he's now probably one of the premier clutch hitters in the country. And now the crowd is really getting into it, so this is the closest they've been since the 2nd inning.
That was the 5th home run for Team USA. And again, the limit is 10. How are the Americans doing, Denny, as far as home run management?
They're in a good situation right now because they've got the hammer. I mean, Canada, you know, by batting first is, although that's not going to be good there. And that wasn't what he was trying to do either.
Baker leaves the yard, a solo shot here in the 5th. And it's a one-run game, but like you said, Denny, sometimes those can hurt you because that's a solo shot. That brings the total to 6 with 4 to go.
Now, does that tie us up with Canada got 6 also, don't they?
Yeah, 6 apiece.
Watch this home run again as it sails over the scoreboard. You can tell he was a little disgusted with himself, even though the ball went over the scoreboard.
One of the ironies of slow-pitch softball, disgusted with yourself with a home run.
When they were 6 or 7 years old, they'd been doing cartwheels to hit home runs.
So Baker a solo shot, each team with 6. This is down the line. Scooting for second is McCraw, and he's going to get in there sliding.
Pretty good hustle for a guy in his 40s.
Johnny McCraw.
I don't think you could give him an error on that play. That was a tough play there. I don't think he couldn't have thrown him out even if he caught it clean. But we'll see if Folk goes for a single or tries to hit it out of here and give the USA the lead. He's quite capable of doing both.
Folk, a big double earlier this inning.
Bases loaded double.
How about the 2-out hitting by Team USA here in the 4th?
And that error comes into play. How many runs he got? Look at this.
Another base hit down the line for Folk. He delivers again. This is going to roll all the way into the corner as McCraw comes in, and we're tied up at 18 as the Americans have made it all the way back.
I haven't given you that one
Had
all
that
day.
one big inning.
Give you that one all day.
And they're still batting.
Leave the pitcher.
We see if he leaves Folk out there on second base or he's going to pinch run for him. Looks like he's going to pinch run for him. BJ's not the quickest player of foot on this roster. Now, he's going to re-enter. Dianatis is going back in for Folk. So actually they get 2 at-bats. He gets 4 or 5, or I think 5 RBIs, and now his Dianatis will go back in the game and they don't miss a beat on defense.
The Americans have scored 7 with 2 outs here in the 4th inning.
Re-enter for 15.
And we're even at 18 here.
And still batting. Well, Buck the last time lined out to the middle infielder who hadn't played right. Let's see if they put him in the same position this time. Team Canada sat and watched and took notes the other night when they were playing the Futures team to see where these guys hit the ball in situations where they couldn't hit home runs, so to see what their tendencies were.
Illegal.
It's an illegal pitch called by the home plate umpire.
That one there he was calling too high.
That's it.
Illegal.
That one too flat.
3 balls, 1 strike.
Don't want to walk him.
They got to get to his shoulder at least.
There's ball 4.
Buck is aboard with a 2-out walk. 2 on, and the inning continues for Team USA.
I'll say his shoulder 6 feet, okay?
As Dennis Ruley comes up, the number 11 hitter in the American order.
Well, he's quite capable of hitting it out of here as well, even though with this, you might look at him and say, well, that guy can't hit it. He can hit it a long way.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
And he gets a piece of this one. Goodbye home run. It's a 3-run job for the Americans, and Team USA leads for the first time today. It's 21-18.
That's 17 runs this inning. They're going to be close to matching that 20 runs they put on the board the other night. I don't know, maybe Coach Shortland got him in that dugout in between innings, said, hey guys, let's get this show on the road. But now we're to the top of the order again with 17 runs in and 2 outs.
Well, this has turned into a Canadian nightmare after a great start for Team Canada. The Americans have just roared right on back.
You know, the keys of the game, you got to make the plays. And they walked a couple guys, they booted a couple balls, and this is what happens.
And the inning continues. A hit for the leadoff man, Bryson Baker. And that's his first hit today.
Now, Cannell, who homered earlier in the inning, we'll see what he does this time with the runner on first, if he tries to preserve the home runs or uses it.
Everybody in the American order has at least one hit now. Cannell had that big 3-run homer his last time up. That was earlier this inning.
See, that's what's good about this rule. The catcher ran over, picked the ball up, threw it back. He didn't walk and lollygag around.
Line drive, foul. And that'll make it 2-2. Now, there is no courtesy foul, so now the next strike, even if it's a foul ball, will be an out.
You know, you look at it and say, well, that shouldn't make a difference, but you got to keep it between the lines, so you got to alter your swing. So he's not going to probably try to push the ball down the right field line. My bet is he will probably free swing here.
Cannell steps into one, goes down the line, and this time it's fair. Baker rolls into third. He'll keep on coming for home and will score. It's an RBI triple for Greg Cannell, 22-18.
That just goes to show you how good a hitter he is. A lot of guys would be scared to even try that again, but that's why he's one of the premier hitters in the game today. Besides leading the country in home runs the last 3 years, he can base hit it with the best of them.
18 runs this inning for Team USA, and they are now sending the 22nd man to the plate this inning. Wegman high and deep to center.
That's out of here.
And it's going to drift out. Home run. It's a 2-run shot for Brian Wegman. His first home run of the afternoon. And it's now 24-18.
20-run inning. They matched their 20 runs that they got the other night. And they're not done. Now, this will be interesting to see how Canada reacts to being down for the first time in the game when they, it looks like they're going to make a change now. Manley's coming out, approaching home plate to talk to the umpire.
There's Wegman disgusted with himself on a home run again. I just can't get over that.
Come on, keep working, stretch, keep stretching, keep stretching. We got 2, we got 3. Keep pushing for it.
You can tell that the Americans are happy, but they're certainly not satisfied with the way they're talking down in the dugout.
I mean, you know, with these home run rules, it's interesting to see how they do adjust their swings and score runs. You know, I know teams that these guys play on, Resmondo and Laser Vision. They've had games. I know Resmondo's had a game this year where they've scored 30 runs in an inning without an out. So it does happen.
Now, Todd Cadenhead is going to pitch now for Team Canada as they make a change. 6 American home runs this inning, 18 runs in all. And just so you know, the Americans are at 8 home runs for the game, so they have 2 left before they start becoming outs. And that is significant because we play 7.
Exactly.
7 innings.
Well, I don't think it will bother the Team U.S. as much because as you've watched the game so far, you see all these guys that are home run hitters like Cannell and Folk base hit the ball as well as they can hit it out of the park.
Well, we thought Cadenhead had moved to the rubber, but it's actually Ryan Wood who's going to pitch for Team Canada. How much of a difference can this make? Is it...
This ain't like Major League Baseball where it's a righty-lefty. It just more or less is a change of momentum. I mean, there's not much you can do when it's 6-10. You know, you can try to sneak in a flat pitch or get him try to throw a knuckleball or whatever. So,
but it is a different look for the hitters.
Without question. And it makes they can set up the defense. Guys will, when they're hitting against the 5-man infield, a lot of times will like to hit it off the pitcher's bare hand. So you want to stagger your middle infielder into that hole.
Well, this has been a long inning in the field for Team Canada, and when the temperatures are about 108 degrees, that's saying something.
Yes.
You want to get off the field as soon as you can.
And the team that's in the best physical condition, you know, the American team is used to some weekends will play 10 games in 2.5 days. So, I mean, most of them are in pretty good shape, even though you may look at him and say, whoa, he looks like, you know.
Deep to right field. Henry reaches up. It's off the top of the wall. And going in to second base
Helmer, I think, was cussing himself out as he was running the first thing, and he spun it out of here.
That's Brett Helmer with a double off the top of the wall.
I only have no business watching that
How
ball.
close? Look at that. 1 foot from being out of here.
Big man, let me
That's
know.
the third time Helmer has hit in this inning. My scorecard was an absolute disaster.
Play.
They don't have enough boxes.
Illegal?
No, we don't.
Illegal, seeing he still hit it.
Deep short,
Can't get
and
it.
there's no play. Helmer moves up to third on it.
See, when that umpire calls that illegal pitch, you still have the option if you want to hit that pitch. In that case, the pitch was a little outside, and that's where Rainwater wanted to go.
10 feet.
And
10 feet. Yeah.
he utilized this hard infield again by hitting it into the ground.
Hitters they are. They don't need any help with
And
Trust me, I understand that.
this
I'm
inning
doing the best I
continues.
can.
This
I'm
is
giving
all
both pitches.
happening with 2 outs.
I'm giving you the same pitch I'm giving them. You got to just give me verbal.
24-18 here.
20 runs for Team USA here in the 6th. And did they get 2 more? Make it 3 more, I should say. Nope, caught at the warning track by Chason. And Team USA is finally done, but they scored 20 times. 13 runs scored with 2 outs for the Americans.
There again, you don't make the play. They give them 2 extra outs and then the walks, and then come.
Now we go to the top of the 5th. Look at that, a 20 spot put up by the Americans in the bottom of the 4th. Welcome back to General Tire Border Battle 4 between Team Canada and Team USA. Essentially the World Championship of slow-pitch softball at the elite level. And the Americans were slow starters today, Denny Helmig, but they really caught fire there in the 4th.
That seems to be their mode of operation. They did the exact same thing the other night. Now, see, now they put Purcell back in the pitch. They brought Del Baggs in to catch to give Helmer a breather. And this is very critical for Canada to score this inning. If they get shut down here, they can come in and end the game, really, the way they're starting to roll now.
The most runs you have seen, at least in recent memory, in a softball game. Scored by one team.
Back in the Steel's days, I've seen them score 120 one game. Recently, in the 50s, in the last couple of years with the home run rules, like on the weekends, these guys play in a conference, and the limit in there in the upper level is 16 home runs, so it does stretch it out a little bit.
Frank Henry to lead it off for Team Canada, down in the game for the first time, and a sharp single to center. Good start for Henry and Canada.
They definitely have to score here. If they throw up an O for here.
Now number 23, got Cadenhead.
Bring up Cadenhead. Cadenhead has 2 two-run home runs today.
Be sure one here. Be sure one. All right. Be sure one here.
You got it, sir.
Let's see what he decides to do here.
What would you do?
Illegal.
You got to get a hit. You know, I mean, they're still in the game here. You can't blow your home
2
runs
balls,
when
1
you're
strike.
still behind this. You know, bat down 6. Well, he didn't. Well, he feels they need it now. See, you can't let your ego get you the best of you in a situation like this where you need maybe to get a base hit, but you want to hit a home run so all your fans back home can see you trot around the bases.
That's his 3rd two-run home run.
Because it's a game of home run management.
And now it's 24-20.
And that's 8-7 on the home runs. Seeing Team USA's got the hammer, so.
And now Chase on. Purcell, nice play. That's not easy.
Not with the velocity the ball comes off that bat. And you're 50 feet. Well, he backs up. But he was a shortstop in high school and was shortstop in college pitcher. So he is set. If you watch him after he releases the ball, he's one of the few pitchers that is actually fundamentally sound in getting ready to catch the ball. And he's one of the few at the upper level that doesn't wear a mask. Today's game, both pitchers aren't wearing masks.
Does that become common?
Yes.
Pitchers protecting their face?
Yes. And some are even wearing shin guards. But you see how he backpedals. He's probably 5 steps back and he's set. a lot of guys just feel they're like a pitching machine. They just, you know, throw it up, and what happens, happens.
Jeff Zanoli for Team Canada. DiDonatis.
2 outs.
Nice play again from DiDonatis. Canada has 2 away here in the 5th inning.
See there again, they played that 5-man infield. They played the 3 guys between first and second, forcing him to pull the ball. Evidently, his tendencies were he liked to hit the right side, so they made him pull the ball. They get the ground ball. They got the same setup right now. Same result. They get him to pull the ball. They're out of the inning.
Big defensive inning for Team USA. Canada gets a couple, but the Americans have all of the momentum right now in Border Battle 4.
And there's lots of
Team USA leading by 4 in Border Battle 4 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. And this game is going to be rebroadcast on the 4th of July, 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. Great way to celebrate Independence Day, a border battle between Canada and Team USA.
Team USA's got 11, 1, and 2 in their batting order up here. You know, you don't really have to bat 11 if you don't want to. If I was managing this team, I think I would only bat 10. That way you're allegedly your 3 best hitters, 1, 2, and 3, would get an extra at bat. So a lot of strategy, but here they're trying, like normal all-star games, is let everybody get to play.
I think that one was a little too high.
Dennis Ruley, that 3-run home run is part of that huge 5th inning. This one high and deep could sail out of here, and it does, and the Americans are down to their last home run. That's 9.
I don't think he was trying to hit it out there, but looking at the way he's trotting around the bases, man, he's making this last.
Yes.
Home run limit is 10.
So Team USA, the top of the order here with Rice and Baker.
Scuba! Let's go, Scuba! Come bees, come bees! Come bees, let's go!
Again, this is essentially the World Championship of softball at the elite level. And the Americans, even though they started slow, have really come on ever since that 5th inning where they scored 20 runs. They've kind of taken the momentum as Baker gets his 2nd hit.
This will be interesting to see here whether Cannell wants to save the home run or go to one of his tape measure shots.
Come, Connie, let's go! Stay right on it!
Team Canada down to its final 3 outs. And Cannell
spins it out of here.
Yep, and that's going to do it for home runs as Team USA gets 2 from Cannell to make it 27-20. But that's it for the long ball for the Americans.
Yep, but they got a 7-run lead, and that might be a little mountain too high to climb.
Nice collection of souvenirs out there for those fans.
If you watch Cannell swing here on replay, how rhythmic and emotional, it's just nice and easy. He cuts it, spins it. Out it goes.
Good job.
Well, there's no doubt what they'll be trying to do now since they have no outs and their home run limit's up.
There's line drives, hard hit ground balls.
And the pitcher better be ready. Because if you look at that hole between the shortstop and second base, and they're even giving him a bigger hole now.
Ready? Play. Illegal. Dead ball.
Team USA went down in this game.
Time.
It was 9-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
9-4, excuse me, at 1 point.
Ready? Play.
I knew he was hitting that hole. The pitcher's pitched with, the bare hand side. The shortstop is playing over towards third.
Time.
We could drive a semi through there.
Brian Wegman has his 3rd hit. I take that back. It was 18-4 at 1 point, Team Canada.
And we'll see how they play their middle infielder here with this is Begg's first time up.
Dow Beggs.
Dead ball.
I think he'll try to hit the right center gap here.
That ball. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Don't want to walk him.
That has a chance to go out, and it will. And that's an out. So Wegman will go back to first.
He tried to hit that gap, but it's a fine line. If you get underneath it, big and strong as these guys are, and with this 300-foot fence, it's going to sail right out of here. That happened to him the other night in the 7th inning of the game against the Futures.
Play.
And the future of Team USA, does it look bright?
Very bright. Actually, I think it would be a good idea when in the future, if they had the Futures play Team USA, to whoever wins that game plays the Canadian team.
There's Rainwater with a hit.
I was trying to save you some steps.
The average age of Team USA is right around 33, 34.
Oh, no.
Well, that's what Steve told me.
It's probably 37 or 38, because you got 3 or 4 guys that are in their early 40s. And they've got one player who's 45, but I won't tell you who it is.
Okay, now.
Yeah, Rainwater's had a bad knee, and they're taking him out and replacing him.
The number, he's going to be 13 upstairs.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. They're not in the ball game together?
Yeah, they are.
Looks like he popped something halfway down the first baseline.
Oh, here, okay.
Yeah, 2 number 12s, because those guys were on the Futures team. So they told me it's okay for the last, because they're going to make them win 13 in the foot.
Okay,
Team USA did bring 3 or 4 players up from the Futures team for this because of some of the injuries that they had. And,
so he's going to go in Rainwater spot, which is in the 5.
5, okay. 13 for 11.
13, but it says 12 on his back.
I understand. It's 13.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Coach.
Explain to him what's up.
I will.
It looks like it's Travis Clark, if I'm not mistaken.
Because they didn't have a jersey, even though he has 12, his actual number is 13. Okay? They told me to play with it. I called. So it's 13 for 11. Okay.
And he's not on that roster. It's Kevin Bazat. He was the shortstop middle infielder for Futures team.
Okay, you got, actually the number's going to be 13, even though he has 12, that's Brissett. So you got 13 for 11.
I'm glad you have that, Denny, because I'm a little confused. If they're not on the roster, it makes it extremely difficult.
I know who he is, so.
Now, anyway, he's at first now, and we've got 2 on, 1 out for Team USA here in the bottom of the 6th. This is about insurance right now, Denny.
Exactly, because Canada still's got a couple home runs. They get a couple guys on and hit 2 or 3 run home runs. They'd be right back, but they can't let them get any more. See, Team USA lost the first 3 innings, and then they've won the last 3 innings.
Purcell to right field. Needs to stay in the park. It will. And tracked down by Henry. Here comes the throw back into the infield. Wegman, who tagged, makes it over to third, so runners at the corners.
Tried to punch that in there and got too much of it. But here's Rick Baker again, who's been in this same situation in the last inning the other night and again today. And we'll see how they play him. He's going to hit this ball, I predict, to the left side, either the hole between the shortstop and third baseman, or he's going to hit it off this pitcher's bare hand side.
Give me the inside a little bit. Yes, sir. Ready? Play.
Baker, hard hit back.
That middle infielder moved, cheated that way, and he caught it. And they're going to score Bazat all the way from first.
Time.
29-20.
Two more insurance runs. You can never have enough in this game. Never have enough. The only thing here is Team USA has the hammer. Makes a nice play getting it back in, but a little late.
Another base hit.
Base hit.
And another run. And it's 30-20.
That's what Coach told you, Clay, that they wanted 30.
30 on 10, and they've done both.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Now you got Dianatis, who's perfect for the game so far.
Well, at least his spot is.
Yeah.
And he has got a couple of hits. Falk a couple of run-producing doubles in his spot in the order.
Dead ball.
We'll see what he tries to do here, whether he's going to go up the middle or...
Illegal.
He's very selective in his balls and strikes. He's got one of the better eyes in the game. That's a big walk there.
Turning into another long inning for Team Canada, and it's going to be hard to muster energy now after another long inning in the field and falling behind by double digits.
And only having 2 home runs. Now, if you're down 10 and you got 5 or 6 home runs, that's another story. With 2, their hands are pretty much tied.
Let me know, big man.
And they don't have them out here yet either. I mean, they can still get 3 or 4 more runs.
Down the line, base hit. Gino Buck.
You watch Dianatis run the bases. That's a triple there.
A 2-run triple.
They might get 3 more runs and end it right here.
It's 15 after 5, right?
Right. They get 3 more runs, the game's over.
Boy, this seemed implausible back in the second, third inning. When
top of the 4th, it
was 18-4 Team Canada. Yeah, at one point.
Same deal the other night. It was, I think, 21-3 at one point. Coach needs to figure out how he can wake them up earlier. We got Mr. Ruley up.
You got it. He's not near the mound, gets set, and I'll stop him when he get close. All right, let me know when you're ready. Play.
Boy, he has hit well out of this spot in the lineup, and this might be an out.
It is.
Gone, home run, and an out because the United States has used up its 10 home run limit. But some big insurance runs, Denny Helmig. It's now 32-20 going to the top of the 7th, the last chance for Team Canada.
They did what they had to do, Team USA.
Presentation of the 2012 General Tire Border Battle is brought to you by Kingsford Charcoal, Slow Down and Grill. By Progressive. Visit progressive.com today. And by Lumber Liquidators, hardwood floors for less.
Team USA leading 32-20 as we go to the top of the 7th, the last chance for Team Canada. That 4th inning for Team USA was impressive. They sent 25 to the plate. They scored 20 runs, and that really is the difference in this game because from that point on, when the tide turned, Denny.
Just like the other night, only this time they got ahead and they increased the lead. They put Bazat in here in the middle infield. I want to watch how he plays the middle of this, how he plays games with the hitters. He did this the other night and gave Team USA fits.
They go away from him, down the line, and foul. Off the wall for Falardo.
They moved Bryson Baker out to left field. Rainwater with that injury to Rainwater. People are probably wondering why Bazat has red pants on when he was brought up from the futures team
2 strikes. I got you. You tell me verbally, sir.
Yeah, Bazat is running all over the field, isn't he?
He did this the other night for 7 innings, and I mean, he made some plays.
Go get him, Spike.
to center.
But see, he forced the guy, when he cheated the other way, he forced the batter to try to go opposite of him, and the ball sailed for the out.
One down, Canada down to 2. Canada has 2 home runs to work with you.
You let me know, sir.
They're moving their defense, so here, look how far out he is right now. All right.
Play.
Here he goes again.
Ball.
Team USA needs 2 more here.
Right.
Attaboy. Good work.
2 balls, 2
Notice
strikes.
how Purcell is set. When he releases that ball, he is back into that hole, and he's set for anything up the middle.
Go get it. Get to the fence. Get to the fence.
That's out of here.
That's a home run
Catch.
for Chevette, but it's a solo shot, and that means Canada has 2 home runs left to play with.
And I don't think that's going to be enough. And the gentleman coming up now, I think, either hit 2 or 3 today. And still on deck here.
Number 52, Frank Henry.
32-21 now after that home run by Chevette. And Frank Henry, who has 4 hits, Denny, but has yet to leave the yard. Now he's just thinking about getting on base for the guys behind him.
Yeah, when he get close, I'm going to stop him.
I mean, Canada's not out of this. I mean, if they can string some hits together here. But if they could get a walk or somebody to boot a ball or whatever.
Tries to go opposite field. Long run for Wegman.
Catch.
And gets out of play.
You know, it looks like there's a lot of room out there in that outfield, but if them balls hang long enough, these outfielders are fleet of foot and they can run them down.
Got a bay here. Got a bay.
Plus now he's got 2 strikes.
Just
so
tell
he's
me
going to be
verbally.
defense here at the plate.
You got 1 ball, 2 strikes now.
Now he'll be watching Bazette run around out here. You're better off not even paying attention to him. Just hit it where you can hit
Ready?
it hard and hope.
Play. Illegal.
Called it 2 flat.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Canada really, though, has got to be proud of their performance here today. A lot of people figured they'd come in here and just get destroyed by these guys, and that hadn't happened. I mean, they made them play.
Henry is retired, and Canada is down to its last out.
You would have to say this Canadian team has really played a lot better than last year's squad. And the new faces they hadn't produced, and
Big man, tell me when
it
you're
was
ready.
a dogfight. And you know, the game of slow pitch needs games like this to be competitive to help grow the sport back to where it was in the mid-'80s.
Here's Cadenhead, who has 3 home runs today.
Time.
All
Yes, sir.
3 2-home run shots.
I got to believe he's going to try to get his 4th right here.
Play.
Nope.
Hard hit under the glove of Rulli.
Really got life.
He'll get a double out of this. And Canada is not done. As Chase Son comes up.
We're going to put a pinch runner in for him here.
Just let me know verbally, sir.
I mean, you got to make every play in this game. I mean, I can't stress that enough. If you boot a ball, that runner usually scores. That walks.
Brad Rankin is going to pinch run.
Really, both pitchers today have done a better job than the other night of not walking people. I think we've only had a couple walks, maybe 1 on each side. But we need a hit here. Keep it going.
Make a play. Somebody make a play for me right here. Let's go. Come on, Jay.
Claude Chason.
Got 60 hits and 53 runs so far.
He has 3 hits today, a solo home run, and a couple of singles. He has scored 3 times. communication here on the pinch runner. Well, Team USA is poised to take the border battle for the third time. 2 years ago they lost to Team Canada, but definitely the United States to win again here today if they can lock it up.
2 years in a row.
Not the bragging rights, huh?
Yes.
To short. DeDonatis, who has played an exceptional shortstop, ends the game, and Team USA wins border battle 4, 32-21.
And USA keeps the trophy.
And the big stick of the game is that man, Greg Cannell. Presented by Lumber Liquidators. That 3-run home run as part of that 4th inning was huge, and he also had an RBI triple.
And we said before the game that he was the guy who kind of steers the team to batting in that number 2 slot. But you got to give Canada credit here, too. They really played well.
32 runs on 34 hits for Team USA. They hit 10 home runs. Team Canada started out hot, couldn't finish.